Hello and welcome back. This is MC1 Gamer. Just wanted to check in and let everybody know that, well, with the holidays upon us, things may be a little bit slow with some of the output that I have. I'm spending a lot of time with the family. I'm going through a transition work-wise, but I will still be getting some games in, and I still have stuff that I'm looking to cut from games that I've already done, as well as a bunch of conversions that I'm going to be adding to the Convert This series. I've also got some stuff that I wanted to discuss that I would love for you guys to weigh in on. First of all, if you have a conversion that you're looking for, you can send it to me. Send it over to my email address. If you don't have it, I'll put it down in the notes below. I'd be happy to go and try to find some model ideas on how to put something together, if that's something that you're interested in. I've also decided that I might be doing this for as a commission. So if there's people interested in it, I'm more than happy to do it. We can work something out. And beyond that, I wanted to discuss some other things. I've learned some new rules interpretations for the Lore of Undeath spells, which is something I'd definitely like to discuss and see what people's thoughts are. There's interpretations that seem to be widely accepted throughout a number of the Midwest locations in the U.S., and apparently is well received and well accepted over in the UK and in Europe. And that is that the spells that are Rise, for example, that summons up infantry, it allows for you to summon a character if you have the proper amount of points for it. This is something I did not really think about, but apparently this is something that some people have debated against it, but it seems to make sense because a character is not a type. The unit type is infantry, monster, cavalry, monstrous infantry. It makes a lot of sense. I'd be happy to hear people's opinions about it. This also has huge implications when you look at the Cataract spell, which is the level 5 spell. And this is something that, again, I did not even think about. We did not talk about it when the Sustainable Center had hosted with Lord Tremendous and I a debate, and not a debate, but an in-depth look at the Lore of Undeath and how you can use it and what are things to look out for, as well as units and how to build an undead Legion's army effectively. Cataract has a huge implication. While the lower level of the spell allows for summoning characters, the higher level merely says you can summon things like monsters, chariots, war machines within the points restriction. Well, this is where we're going to have, I'm sure, a huge pushback by some people. The Mortarchs are monsters. They're characters, but their unit type is monsters. So it appears that there's a widely accepted movement that this is allowable, this is doable, that Nagash could summon a Mortarch. I wouldn't say that he would be able to summon the Mortarch more than once. If that Mortarch dies, then that's certainly doable. But with a couple of tokens, Nagash could potentially summon Arkin the Black. Now it makes sense fluff-wise. He does summon his Mortarchs to him. He does raise them up. He does have these types of powers, and perhaps this is what was intended. The unit type again is monster, and it is a special character insofar that the actual item comes from the lords and the lord section. But it's a monster, so technically it would be legal. Technically, it would be legal to summon a infantry level character using Rise, since it's just 50 points of infantry, but 150 using the Nagash doubling rules. It seems to make sense, but I'd be happy to hear what people say. I'm not going to jump into the debate too strongly, because I think once people actually read the rules, they'll probably see that this is how it works, but I'd be happy to hear some debate on the other side. And please, if you're going to weigh in, don't use just simply the concept of it's just too powerful or overpowered. Use some logic. Tell me why you think this doesn't apply, because if you're just saying that it's because they're characters, it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. But I'd like to have the basis for an understanding on this because I haven't played it as such, and I know there's a lot of sensitivity with end times in general, but specifically with Nagash, just because of some of the summoning mechanics, and some people just don't like it, and so they'll rail against it, and they'll have opinions that are negative towards it in the first place. So if you're going to enter into the conversation, I'd really appreciate, rather than just to plop down, hey, this is what I feel, back it up. Back it up, because you may have a point, and I'd be happy to hear it. In any case, beyond that, I'm welcoming anybody's opinions or suggestions on what kind of stuff they'd like to see with future content. If you want to see more things about conversions, if you want to see certain types of scenarios, I'm still looking to continue, and I have games lined up for continuing, not just for the games, the scenarios in the Nagash book, but hopefully moving on to Glocken and into the Kane book and beyond. I know there's some people that have started to do that, and I intended to compile those lists into a running scorecard of how armies had performed, but very few people have been doing them. Very happy to see that Once Bitten is starting. He already has put up the first scenario from the Nagash book, and I'm very much looking forward to watching his take on that. But I've gotten a couple of submissions from other people. The reason why I haven't put them up is because I just haven't gotten enough. Really is worthwhile. So if more people start doing this, I will put up a monthly tally of how armies have performed. I do recognize that that is a hurdle because not everybody A has the books, B is even interested in end times, and C, even if they have both of those situations, they may not have played through the scenarios and then also recorded it. So that may not actually, I may actually drop that altogether if I don't get enough submissions. But if you're interested in participating in that, at least with the ones that I have gotten and the ones that I will get, if you do submit them to me, I will start tallying them up. So you can also email them to me at the email address addressed in the notes. The last thing I'm going to say before I wish everybody a happy holiday is, there's still time for people to vote for the end of the year awards that Matiram and Vince and a number, they're Vince and Mitt, Josh, are on their channel have decided to compile a list of people's votes for various different categories. There's a number of them. Now, I wasn't intending. I did try to spread the awareness and increase the bandwidth in terms of what people. More people being aware of that fact that this is being done, and asking people just to weigh in with their vote, and not really campaigning for votes for myself. But they invited that, so I'm going to. I mean, I don't expect that I'm going to win Best Battle Reporter. I don't expect I'm going to win Best Overall. I don't even expect I'm going to win any particular category since I'm a relatively new a person that's adding to the content of this community. But I'm happy to be part of the community, and I've been trying and endeavoring to do so. So if you do want to vote, and you have a vote of confidence in terms of any of the content that I've provided in any of the categories, please feel free to put that in. I think the one that I'd like to win the most, if I had to pick one, would be Best New Series for the Convert This. But I would be happy to get any vote from anybody that is interested and is happy to follow my content. Beyond that, I think there are plenty of people that are very well deserving. I have made my votes for others that I think that have contributed not just for a long haul, but newcomers, people that have jumped in around the time that I have, and then maybe just within the past year or so, that I think have done tremendous things to help build the community. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing those people win those awards. And I want to thank anybody who has looked to give back and again provide some kind of vote of confidence that saying, hey, we really appreciate all the efforts that you guys put in. So, again, the last thing that I'm going to say is everybody have a wonderful holiday season and have a wonderful new year. I'm sure you'll be seeing my content, additional stuff before the end of the year. But again, it might be a little bit thin between now and the actual new year because I'm just going to be spending a lot of time with my family. In any case, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and any other holiday that you wind up, Happy Festivus, any holiday that you wind up celebrating, and of course have a wonderful New Year.